Very good day once again. This is ILM, Integrated Logistics Management. So in this class, we'll discuss about SCM. We'll try to understand more about the marketing functions, what are the logistic functions, and of course the supply chain process. So today's class is pretty much very simple, but still very important topic as well. Okay, so this is especially for you, my dear students and young researchers. You can reach me at dr.christoananth@gmail.com. So I would never forget to thank God for giving this opportunity to deliver this useful session, to share my knowledge among my fellow national, international participants, students, and young researchers. Right. So in this class, we'll have a short intro towards SCM, supply chain management, how marketing is going to foster collaboration, because it's very much vital for the supply chain management. Okay. Then we'll understand the importance of a marketing team, what are the marketing supply chain components, how you will utilize supply chain in the marketing uses, what are the major logistic functions about the transportation, warehousing, packaging, monitoring, and finally the key supply chain management process. Okay, so I'll give assignment 2 very soon in the Google Classroom. Please complete them. As I'm telling you, like still 3 more assignments I'll be giving them. Okay, so at regular intervals I'll be giving you some short videos to discuss the knowledge in our topics. Right. So this is supply chain. We'll try to maintain a network, okay, with the case of production till the distribution of the company's products. So okay, so everywhere we'll have like activities. We'll have people who are involved in the community. We'll have entities. We have information feeding out through the software. Okay, and we have resources. These resources should be utilized and should be processed efficiently. Otherwise, it will go to trash. Okay, so we'll have like several steps, we'll have several processes, especially to deliver the products or maybe services even. Okay, so where we have like raw materials, manufacturing, transportation, inventory control, finance, retailing, packaging, marketing, everything is a cyclic procedure that's going on. Okay, so we'll have like planning, we'll try to track the procedures. Okay, and we try to check for any errors. Okay, so that's if that's occurring throughout the system, we'll try to analyze them. Okay, so you have to maintain strong links, strong collaborations. Only then marketing plays a vital role in the supply chain management. Okay, so everyone like will try to be well informed about this supply chain process and maybe operations, and this is where communication plays a vital role. Okay, so this is for this one we'll have marketing where you try to utilize the supply chain, okay, operating at a peak performance. So we'll have like strategy, okay, that is associated with each of the process, and of course what are the operation that is involved, so that we'll be analyzing. Okay, so earlier cases we had like PIR, Karnat also, like we have like papers, agreements, everything was made physical. But now you have to submit like 3 copies. You have to submit them. You have to make sure everything goes on. But now like paperless. Okay. So whether it is press releases or maybe email newsletters or maybe email messages, everything has been online. That is going to help the suppliers. And of course, you are going to go with brand marketing to the maximum utilization. Okay, so altogether it is about satisfying the customers. Okay, right. So marketing, definitely it is going to foster collaboration among the several links in the supply chain. Okay, so we should try to maintain that culture of collaboration throughout our level of processes. Okay, so you have to better utilize the messaging services, and of course you have to distribute this particular information so as to integrate the suppliers in your team even. And then you are going to target onto the market's needs. So for this one you can use multiple platforms. Okay, so you have to maintain consistent contact even. Okay, and that is how you are going to align, especially with the internal as well as external partnership. Okay, so supply and demand you are going to plan, you are going to monitor, you are going to optimize. Okay, so it's every department's job to stay on the top of the industry according to the trends, according to the changes, and it should be flexible enough. Okay, so these are the steps involved in the target market analysis. Like we try to identify the target consumer market, and you try to split the market, divide the market, and of course you are going to conduct the market research. Okay, so it's very much essential that you are going to satisfy the target market needs, interest, and of course the problems, the hindrances that you will encounter. Okay. So marketing team is very very important. So awareness should be built on. So you have to give like proper training, and of course that makes some corrective actions at every level. Okay, so that is going to inform the customers about your expertise in their supply chain. Okay, so a better marketing team, then definitely the distribution is much more better with regards to newsletters, or maybe testimonials, or maybe feedback, or maybe case studies that you would compare with the existing and the current scenario. Okay, so that's how you go on with the supply chain management. Brand awareness also, like you try to utilize marketing so that you try to brand. Okay, branding the landscape, or maybe branding the entire logistics process is very important. Okay, so that will give a reward for our business efforts. Okay, so all things like processes involved in the brand analysis, okay, that should be aligned even. So it should be recognizable and it should be successful. So that is the key objective of each and every company even. So you are going to understand, you're going to know about the quality of the people, quality of the services that you are going to produce. Okay, and of course what benefit that you will enjoy. Okay, so using data, information and analytics, you can predict, okay, for the last 7 days, or maybe 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So you can analyze the characteristics. Okay, so marketing team generally it is suited to identify the weak links, and maybe they can recommend some solutions to the problems even. Right. Then, of course, there are some supply chain components with the marketing. We'll have brand managers. Okay, so they will be examining about how the market is going to understand that particular brand or maybe product, and maybe we can set some objectives for that respective product. Okay, so that will play a vital role. So only if you have to understand a brand or maybe product and maybe know about the objectives, then you can take part fully in that supply chain management process. Okay, so that will cater or maybe satisfy the needs. Okay, so you're going to also utilize marketing agencies as well. So that's how you are going to manage the marketing supply chain. Okay, so it requires input especially from the client organization, because marketing agency needs information about the marketed products and maybe the goals even. Okay, so that's much more important. Then we have a sales team. Okay, like normally like we have this issues, marketing and of course sales often overlap. So that makes the sales team a part of this marketing supply chain even. So that is very very important. Like you if you try to understand the effectiveness and efficiency of the sales team, then definitely it can be incorporated well efficiently inside the marketing supply chain. Okay, then you have like fulfillment houses. It's also known as packaging warehouses. So that will be acting as a center hub, okay, for storing and of course pack the products and of course marketing materials. Okay, so maybe they can either have their own houses or maybe packaging warehouses, or maybe like a hire another company and maybe like a third party you can fill in that particular role for the fulfillment houses. Okay. Right. Then you have printing companies as well. That's the final next stage. Okay, almost the final. Okay, so that how you're going to print materials for your marketing campaigns, like flyers, brochures, newsletters. Okay, printing companies are part of this marketing supply chain. Okay. So you should also utilize the best efficiency of the marketing users as well. Okay, so because everything doesn't happen all night. Okay, right, you have to experiment on and on. Okay, so that gives several needs for improvement as well. So marketing effort will generally create better efficiency and of course increase profits in the days to come. Of course, it can help the organization set and achieve new goals according to the mission and vision statement of that particular company. Okay, so having a supply chain definitely can achieve sustainable development. Okay, in the company's marketing operations, and that can push to the next level. Okay, also it can have an advantage over the competition. Even like so several companies are also there, means like you'll understand the weaknesses of their the competitors, and of course you can actually go for improvisation over the rival companies. Okay, and of course you can improvise the data especially used for decision making, So companies management, you can inform about the well-informed decisions. So proper planning, proper structure is what is utilized in the marketing supply chain. And of course, it clearly sets everyone's role within a team. Who should work when and for what cost. Okay. So the supply chain in the marketing is how you try to maintain and balance this marketing related operation. So marketing team will be identifying, okay, this particular person should work on this area. Okay, this particular person should work on the sales. This particular person for the promotion. Okay. So according to the needs, according to the demands of the customer, so you are going to use maybe the same strategy, okay, to make it more efficient. Okay. And we identify the functions of logistics management. So logistics, if you can term, it's both simple and of course it is complicated. Okay, so it's, you cannot easily define, okay, this is for the service and of course for the product, okay, from A to B. Okay, so that is what logistics management is about, and that's what our subject is about, integrated logistics management. Okay, so logistics and supply chain management are interwoven, okay, like to work together in order to develop network topologies even, and of course, like we enjoy much more advantages when they work in unison, right? So these are the 7 major logistic functions. Okay, like we'll go for, yes, managing inventory. Okay, we'll have enough inventory on the hand, and maybe you try to keep the carrying cost as low as possible. Then you try to monitor, keep track of all the logistics, okay, the operations. You try to store it. That's very, very important. Try to maximize the space utilization, and you go for packing, okay, breakage prevention, material handling, and storage. Process the orders, okay, order processing, efficient, and of course fast. This is what customer needs. And of course transportation. Okay, so movement of goods from the provider to the buyer, warehousing, finished items until they are delivered. So this is going on. Okay, so can you say that? So we'll try to process the orders. Okay, so that's a critical part. Okay, where you will go for mail, telephone, salespeople, or maybe computers as well, where you try to submit orders, and of course they are processed as and when they are received. Okay, so you can enjoy the advantages, especially of the order processing, and we'll have some activities like we try to check the order for any changes in the negotiated terms, or maybe we check for the payment and delivery terms. Okay, check the availability of that particular stock, production scheduling, and of course material scheduling, so that is going to cater according to the shortages. Okay, and this is finally you go for transportation. Okay, so that's the most efficient and essential function of the logistics in the supply chain management. Okay, so you are going to move from the provider to the buyer. Okay, so when the customer places an order, so the purchase is not complete until the products are physically delivered to the location. So that is the final step. Okay, so maybe like 60 to 70% costs are actually covered by this transportation event, especially for the low unit price, of course mass consumed products as well. Okay, so maybe you take in the case of rail transportation, truck, water and air. So like final thing, 60 to 70% it will cover. Okay, so when choosing that particular mode, okay, so you have to calculate the price. Okay, so that's important, right? Then you'll go for managing the inventory. Like inventory management, of course, once again it's a very important logistic function. So that is also considered as the worst offender in a company's supply chain. Okay, because it is having like high carrying cost. Okay, uh, that definitely will make an impact on the profit that you are going to enjoy. So that one you should manage it properly. So inventory control, inventory management is very, very important. Okay, so you should identify whether any funding is actually there. Okay, how much security you are providing, warehousing, what are the damages it is going to incur, what are the repairs that it will take forward. Okay, what may be the theft even. So this is very, very important. Okay, finally you shouldn't be careless regarding this inventory. Okay, so you have to meet the customer requirements, and of course you have to keep the carrying cost as low as possible. Okay, right. Of course it's a balancing act between offering exceptional customer service. Definitely you are going to minimize this market share loss and associated cost. Okay, then you'll have warehousing, where you try to store the finished items. Okay, so the right warehousing decision definitely will make the better utilization about the company's marketing strategy. Okay, So if you are according to the trends and according to the technology, then definitely you can improvise the warehousing. So single storied automated warehouses also have replaced the older multi-storied warehouses with limited number of employees. Okay. So laying of employees just for the sake of automation. Okay. So that has been carried out. And with right and modern warehousing, definitely you can reduce the labor cost. Okay. And of course, you can have a better inventory control. And you'll go for packaging. Okay, so that's a critical element of the logistics management function, and this is how you are going to measure the effectiveness of the logistics system. Okay, definitely logistic packing is very very important, definitely for breakage prevention, mishandling of materials, storage, maximum utilization of storage space efficiency. So that's very much important for the packaging. And in terms of the cost, the load utilization is going to impact the logistical packaging. Okay. Then of course, handling materials and storage. Okay, so you go for material handling. So that is how you move the inventory, okay, across the distribution chain. So you are going to prevent, okay, like product breakage, delivery delays, and of course overhead expenses as well. So that everything, if you can see, it is about incorrect material handling. Okay, so that is the concern that you will go for improvisation of the entire system. Okay. So advanced manufacture technologies and of course material handling definitely will increase the efficiency of the logistics system. So storage system should also be critical enough so that you try to make the maximum space utilization. Okay, and of course the supply chain strategy should work, okay, in alignment, okay, with the storage system. Finally, monitoring. Okay, so make sure that you try to monitor with regards to inventory control, transport, and warehousing, so everything is up to date. Okay, so that how you are going to understand, like what are the different modes of transportation that you will go for, what are the prices, what are the costs it will go for, what is the service that you will give according to that particular transportation. Okay, what are the additional features that you can offer so that you can manage. Okay, so storage space, labor schedules, order demands, and of course delivery, everything should be monitored and tracked via a real-time software, so that will give you the total efficiency. So these are the key supply chain management processes. First of all, we'll go for planning. Okay, we'll identify some strategic plans so as to maintain or maybe manage all the resources. Okay, especially for your product or service. You're going to monitor for the supply chain efficiency. Okay, for the delivery of goods. Okay, then you go for developing. Okay, so you choose the suppliers, especially of the raw materials that you will need for that product, particular product or maybe service. Okay, so this is how the supply chain management process will actually go from the production, okay, inventory management, logistics, okay, planning, sourcing. So everything has been carried out in this software. Okay. Then making, like production. Okay, like you will go for the manufacturing stage. So we'll have like production, testing for several processes even, and packaging of goods or maybe services, and of course delivery to the customers. Okay, so here you are going to monitor, that's what we discussed earlier. You are going to monitor, you are going to measure that particular product or maybe service quality levels, of course the output, of course the workers who are involved in the entire process. Finally, like deliver. Okay, so that's the final stage where you are going to cover the entire steps from handling the customer queries to distribution and of course the transportation. Everything has been carried over. Okay, right. So here you will have like invoices, like bills. Okay, like way bills or maybe for the warehouses or maybe carriers for payments. You have to make sure that it is of much ease to the customer. Okay, and then returning, that should also be there. Okay, refunding for the special, receiving damaged products back from customers. Okay, like identifying the product condition, authorizing returns, and if it is okay means you give a refund, but everything should act according to the policies and agreement. So if the policy is okay, then you can give the refund. Okay, so that makes a major impact, especially on your success. If they are giving refunds, mean then definitely people will try to have a greater level of trust. Okay, right. So you can use specialist supply chain management software even to improvise them and of course achieve better efficiencies. Assignment 2 for you: management and organization of an international company. Especially, you are going to highlight and maybe insist on the logistic functions and supply chain processes. Okay, so this is your assignment 2 for you, especially for integrated logistics management. Once again, this is for the international level. So identify the functions and supply chain processes.